Yo, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to the Murdoch DeFi YouTube channel. And in today's video, we're going to be taking a first-hand look at Ragnarok protocol. This is another auto-staking, auto-compounding Titano Seifu fork offering a fixed APY of 152,103%. It rebases every 9 minutes or 160 times per day. And they have the automatic burning of supply every transaction based on their tax structure and how all that stuff is set up. So that's what we're going to be doing today. And of course, they have a pre-sale that literally just started. So you could be able to come in here, jump into pre-sale, still super, super early. We're going to read through their white paper, of course. But before we jump into today's video, I want to tell you guys something about a project that I've been kind of working on for some time now. That is called Alpha Zombies, and essentially this is a curated launch calendar for new and upcoming projects. This is a completely free community tool. I don't charge projects to come on here and put their information on here. And then also, like, part of this is our degen scale, right? So this is how we manually go through and look at each one of these projects and give each possible project that we talk about or that we list here a possible score, right? So there's a 25 possible points out of it. So you could be able to come over here, check out the rating that we're giving based on their social media, based on their website, based on their white paper and documentation, their roadmap, if they have audits, KYCs, if they're locking their liquidity, if they have a multi-sig in place, if they're doxing, like all bunch of cool stuff, right? So if you want to come check Alpha Zombies out, I would greatly appreciate it. Also, we have a Twitter and Discord. You could jump in to the Discord and be able to submit projects to have us review them, to have them listed here on the Alpha Zombies website. So pretty cool stuff going on here. I know that there's another company that does something similar, but again, this is just a free tool to use, and we're trying to differentiate ourselves from with this degen scale, right? So making sure at, like, when you just take a first glance, let's see Emerald nodes here, for example, that launched earlier. You can see here that their Alpha Zombie degen scale rating is a 14 out of 25 based on what kind of information they had submitted. You'll be able to find the links to everything here, like all their Twitter stuff that they've been tweeting most recently, all the documentation that we can find on the project, and you can be able to add it to your calendar directly from here. So pretty cool stuff. You can see all the details. And yeah, let me know what you guys think about Alpha Zombies. I just wanted to mention this because I don't think I've talked about it here on the channel yet before. But that being said, I will leave the links to Alpha Zombies. I'll leave the links to our Discord, our Twitter. You can come in and check those out. I would really appreciate if you head on over to Twitter and leave a like. And yeah, again, would really appreciate that. But let's go ahead and jump into Ragnarok protocol. Again, so the fair launch starts on Monday, April 4th at 6 p.m. UTC and ends on April 7th at 6 p.m. UTC. The launch is 3 hours after the fair launch ends, right? So this is where you can actively come in here and be able to participate in the pre-sale. They are KYC'd, they are audited. We'll go into a little bit more depth on that. So that's all good, boxes that we like to see checked. However, that doesn't necessarily mean that a project is going to do well. So just kind of keep that in mind, but it is there for the assurance of their investors. Checking out their white paper here is the finest auto staking, auto compounding DeFi 8.0 protocol. I don't know what 8.0 means, but Ragnarok protocol, 852,103% automatic staking and compounding directly in your wallet. Interest is paid out every 9 minutes or 160 times per day. Automatic burning of supply every transaction. So Ragnarok protocol empowers its investors to extensively compound their investments, as the new financial protocol rewards its investors with a 0.06142% interest in every 9 minutes, with a compounding APY of 852,103.70% just by holding the RGE token in your wallet. At the end of the year, if you were to start with $1,000 of USD, or 100, or sorry, if you were to start with 1,000 USD of RGE tokens, you could potentially earn up to $8.5 million, depending on the price of RGE tokens, right? So obviously, the sustainability of these protocols is the biggest thing of question, right? If you're paying out these massive APYs, then really, in my opinion, what these protocols need to do is to look to other ways, whether that's based on the roadmap, but look to other ways at generating revenue for the protocol, right? Because at the end of the day, they want to be able to pay out their investors, and the only way they can do that is based on transactions, right? So based on the buy sell tax, if for whatever reason a protocol stops having transactions on a daily basis, then it's not going to be sustainable past that, right? So really finding ways to develop utility outside of the actual rebasing um, on 160 times a day. That's very important, right? So what do we do differently? So they have their Ragnarok protocol. It empowers investors. Cool, we've already read that. That says their APY and how often they rebase. They have their Ragnarok insurance fund, or their RIF, and it serves as an insurance fund to achieve price stability and long-term sustainability of the Ragnarok protocol by maintaining a consistent, let's just call it 0.06% rebase rate to all RGE token holders. Furthermore, staking rewards are backed by the RIF parameter, thus ensuring a high and stable interest rate to their holders. They have their Ragnarok treasury, which will be maximized to support the RIF and the project as a whole when an extreme price drop in the RGE token occurs. The treasury will be also used to fund strategic marketing campaigns of the team. They have the Ragnarok Flame. So in every transaction, 2.5% of the traded RGE tokens are burnt in the Ragnarok Flame, and that is a deflationary mechanic, increasing or decreasing the overall supply of the RGE token, meaning they do that in order to create this like deflationary mechanic to the protocol, right? So the hyper deflationary nature of the token equates to a higher value of RGE tokens. Auto compounding, the RIF serves as an insurance fund to achieve price stability and the long-term sustainability of the Ragnarok protocol by maintaining that 0.06% rebase rate that gets paid out to all the holders. So pretty cool. And some information on the actual team itself. Our team consists of intensively driven and crypto enthusiast individuals with solid experience in DeFi. The team has undergone KYC certification with PinkCell and plans to publicly dox in a certain milestone as we value our holders' trust the most. So there you go. They've KYC'd with PinkCell, which is cool to see as well. So token information, no token information yet. The taxation. So this is what I like to talk about the most because this is very important if you plan on trading this on a regular basis, right? Even if you plan on buying in and you're not used to these taxes, then this is very important to understand. So on buys, there is a 14% tax. So 4% goes to the LP. So 4% of purchases and exit fees return to the liquidity pool. 3% goes to the treasury for buy of order fees. And then their RIF, 5% of purchases fees are stored in the RIF. And again, that is their Ragnarok insurance fund. And then 2% of all RGE tokens in every transaction are sent and burned into the Ragnarok Flame. So buy tax, 14%. On sell tax, we have a 16% sell tax. Again, 4% goes to the LP, 5% to the treasury, and then 5% to the RIF, and then again that 2% of the tokens are sent directly to be burnt in the Ragnarok Flame. So that is how their taxation is structured. Their token distribution, 42% goes to the fair launch, 21% goes to liquidity, 8% goes to the team, which is locked. I'm not sure exactly how long that is locked for. 27% goes to marketing. Again, that is locked. And then 1% goes to PinkCell for hosting their fair launch, right? And again, I know that I've heard this kind of going around as it pertains to PinkCell, right? So PinkCell gets a percentage of tokens for hosting this as like a service, right? Hosting this fair launch as a service or pre-sale as a service. Um, and I don't think that it's written like they don't there's not a strict vesting period, but from my knowledge or my understanding is that they sell like just 5% of their allocation per day, or something along those lines. And I know that they, like a lot of people have been talking about pink sale dumping tokens. So definitely something to keep in mind as well, if you are looking to jump into Ragnarok, into this pink sale fair launch. For me, what I typically look at doing, and I kind of equate these to the way things were going in December, from like when all the rebasing DAOs were kind of popping off. My way to navigate that space was simply to just you know get in and out of things. I wasn't looking for long-term investments in those things, and it worked out extremely well for me. I made quite a substantial amount of money in December, playing the DAO game. But it's very easy to get caught up in the hype of all this stuff. And not to mention that there's hefty sale taxes on these. So definitely make sure that going into it, you understand what it's going to take for you to be able to pull out your initial investment, based on how much you're putting into this pre-sale if you decide to jump into it. But that being said, typically what happens with these is, after it launches, depending on the amount of hype that the protocol generates, what typically happens is we see a pretty big pump in the beginning, right when the token actually launches on PancakeSwap in this case, and then we'll obviously see a blow off top, and a lot of pre-salers or people that got in on the fair launch, taking profits. So just kind of understand how these things work before you invest in them. That being said, this pre-sale is going to end on April the 7th at 1800 UTC time. And then we'll be listing on PancakeSwap, I think just a few hours after that. I think it says on their website here. Yep. So the fair launch ends on Pink Sale on April the 7th at 6 o'clock UTC time, or 1800. And then the launch is 3 hours after that, after the fair launch end, right? So it's going to be listed on PancakeSwap 3 hours after that. So just know what you have to do. You'll have to, once the sale ends, you'll have a chance to come in here, claim your tokens, and then you can use those tokens once it is listed on PancakeSwap, to do whatever if you wanted to sell them. Typically, what I recommend is people always taking out their initial when they're up, and then that way you're riding on house money, and you're not. I mean, it's a lot less stressful doing things like that way, and it's a lot less. I mean, it's definitely a way to make sure that you're making money in these types of protocols. So that being said, guys, I think that wraps up today's video. Again, make sure that you head on over to Alpha Zombies and check out our Discord, check out our Twitter. And again, we're just kind of getting this going. I wanted to make sure that we had a couple of projects on the calendar before I made any content related to it or talked about it here on the channel at all. That being said, guys, let me know what you guys think about Alpha Zombies. I would greatly appreciate it. We try to make a website that is pretty user-friendly, easy to navigate, and to get your information quick and stay up to date with upcoming pre-sales or launches. Other than that, guys, thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll catch you on the next one.